So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to look at 41 through 50 today. Go over the answers to these. I would have your formula and theorem sheet out next to you, because I'm going to probably give you hints, and you should probably have this on your formula and theorem sheet while I'm going over it. These are the last 10 problems, and your exam will look very similar to this. I took your exam and changed the numbers, okay, but everything else is the same. Probably going to want this. Please bring your books tomorrow. Okay, I need to do a book count. You can turn them in tomorrow, or you can keep them till Wednesday, but I do have to do a book count tomorrow. So what are we going to bring tomorrow? Books. Okay, let's not forget our books. Okay, I'm looking at number 41, which says classify 3x squared minus 7 plus 4x to the third minus 5x by its degree and by the number of terms. We've got 3x squared minus 7 plus 4x cubed minus 5x. So, first of all, what is the biggest degree? The biggest exponent? 3. So we know that's cubed or to the third power. Now, how many terms are there? There are 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. Okay, so then I'm looking at my answers. I can have a quadratic trinomial. Well, there's more than 3 terms, so we know it can't be a trinomial. And quadratic means 2, so we know it can't be that one. Okay, B says cubic polynomial. Cubic means there's 3 terms, right? What does polynomial mean? Polynomial just means many. So we could totally go with B. C is quadratic polynomial. We know we've got more than a degree of 2. And D is cubic trinomial, but I've got more than 3 terms. Does everybody understand how that works? You might want to put on your formula and steps sheet that degree means the highest exponent, and terms are separated by addition and subtraction. All right, so we are now going to go to 42. 42, we've got negative x squared minus 5x plus 7, and we're adding it to negative 6x squared plus 5x minus 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the like terms. This is a squared. In the other parentheses, are there any with a x squared? Negative 6x squared, right? So negative 6 and negative 1 gives us negative 7x squared. Next, I see that I've got an x by itself. So I look over here, I've also got an x by itself. Negative 5x plus 5x is 0, right? Okay, and then I've got 7 plus a negative 2, that gives me 5. So which one would that be? A. Good. Okay, the next one is very similar, except we're doing subtraction. So you've got 5x cubed plus 3x squared minus x plus 1 minus 3x cubed plus x minus 5. Okay. What I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to distribute that negative and then change it to a plus sign. Negative 3x cubed minus x plus 5. I changed all the signs. Now I'm just going to add the front black one with the blue one. Okay? That's so I remember that it's subtraction each time. 5x cubed minus 3x cubed, it gives me 2x cubed. We don't have any other squared. Negative x minus x is negative 2x. And 1 and 5 is 6. So that looks like it's D. Anybody have any questions about adding or subtracting polynomials? So to add or subtract, I might put on my formula and step sheet, when adding and subtracting polynomials, I need to add or combine the terms that have the same exponent, same variable and same exponent. All right, let's move on to 44. 4x minus 1 times 4x minus 2. Now remember, there are multiple ways to do this. Which way do you want to do, FOIL or the table method? Yes, Tara? You want to try the table? So we've got 4x minus 1 on the top and 4x and negative 2 on the bottom. So I do 4 times 4, which is 16x squared. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4x. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8x. And negative 2 times negative 1 is a positive 2. Now my like terms are negative 4 and negative 8, so I get 16x squared minus 12x plus 2. So that would be B. Is that what everybody got? All right, we're going to do 45. Since we did that one by the table method, I'll do this one by foiling. First, I'm going to do first, which is 4x squared. Then I'm going to do outside, negative 14x. Then I'm going to do inside, positive 14x. And then I'm going to do outside, negative 49. And I can combine the two terms in the middle. And I get 4x squared minus 49. Anybody have any questions about that? Anybody have questions about foiling or the table method? Okay? So you could write down, if you're getting mixed up foiling or you feel like foiling's the way to go, you could say A minus B times A plus B and have the little first, outside, inside, last, so you make sure you do it in the right way. That could all go on that formula and step sheet that you're going to turn in tomorrow and get Miss Cameron and myself to sign.
Miss Murphy, did we go over? You probably did. Remember the other one where you have A minus B, A plus B, and then I have...
Yeah, we're going to do one just like that right now. Okay, so if we look at 45, we've got 3x minus 4 squared. And you guys know that you can write two of them and FOIL, but there's a shorter way to do it. Okay? You've got A squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Okay? A in this instance is 3x, and b is negative 4. So you're going to get 9x squared minus 3 times 4 is 12 times 2 is 24x plus 16. Okay?
You guys see how she got that? A is always your first term, B is always your second term.
And then I just plugged it into that little formula. You can have that on there. If it said, if the terms were A plus B squared instead of A minus B squared, the only thing that would be different is you'd have a plus sign right here. You don't have to do it this way. You could totally FOIL. You could write it twice in FOIL, or write it twice and then do the table method. But this is just a shortcut. Remember, you are going to have, I believe, 49 problems on your exam. You might want to be able to do some of them faster. All right, let's look at 47. Use the zero product property to find the solution of the following factors. You've got x minus 4 times x minus 10 equals 0. Who knows what you do for 47? I think this is one of the easiest problems and everybody forgets how to do it. Yes, Tara? Yeah, you just got x minus 4 equals 0 and x minus 10 equals 0, and then you solve. So you get x equals 4 and x equals 10, which is
So
A.
there's no number in front of the x. Is you take the opposite of whatever's there.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Less than 10 seconds to do that.
The only problem is people look at it and they don't understand what they're supposed to do. So if you know what you're supposed to do for this, it should be one of the easiest problems on the whole thing. Okay, let's look at 48. X squared minus 7x minus 30 equals 0. Which of the following is one of the solutions? Now solutions means the zeros, means where it crosses the x-axis. It means we're going to factor it and then set both factors equal to 0 to solve. So we've got two numbers that multiply to give us x squared, are x and x. What two numbers multiply to give us 30 but add to give us 7? Okay, let's think of the multiples of 30. We've got 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10. What else? 4 doesn't go in there, 5 and 6, and then we're back to where we started. Which one, when I add it or subtract it, gives me 7? 3 and 10.
You guys, something that's going to help you figure out your signs is if you look at your last term in negative 30, if they have to multiply, one has to be negative, one has to be positive in order to get a negative 30. So you just have to figure out which is which.
Okay, which one would have to be negative if we want to get a negative 7? So 10 minus 3 is positive 7. So we want it the other way around. Negative 10 plus 3 gives us a negative 7. Okay. And then we simply set each one equal to 0. Or like Ms. Conlon says, just take the opposite of what's in there. Okay. Now we're going to look. Which one of those is a solution? Negative 3, negative 10, 20, or 60? Negative 3, so our answer is A. All right, let's look at 49. We've got to factor this and then figure out which one is the correct factors. We've got x squared plus 4x plus 3. Remember, you're going to have your two parentheses. The x part is easy. The only thing that gives us x squared is x and x. What two numbers multiply together to give us 3 but add together to give us 4? What are the only two factors of 3? 1 and 3. Do they add together to give us 4? Oh, good. We're done. What are my signs going to be?
Look at your signs in the middle.
Positive. Okay. And so that would be A. All right. Now we've got 2x squared minus 32. So here's the first thing I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen. What is the biggest number that both of these terms have in common? What number can I divide both of them by evenly? 2. So I take out a 2. Oh, are both of those things inside there perfect squares? Both of those things inside there perfect squares? So we get 2 times x minus 4 times x plus 4, right? Because if we get a squared minus b squared, that's the same thing as a minus b times a plus b. If you factor it. That should be on your sheets. So this one is C. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this should all be done. I will take this tomorrow. If you have every single page complete with the answers circled, you will get 5 points on it. Okay? If you missed today, you better go through and fill those out. If you didn't pay attention in class, you better go through and fill it out. Your homework today is page 627 all. Okay? You got to do those. Remember, I'm not accepting late work, so it needs to be done when you walk into class tomorrow. And you need to be ready to do your cheat sheet. So you got to bring a lot of things tomorrow. You got to bring your packet, your homework, your book, and your cheat sheet ready to be signed. I am doing a book count tomorrow, so please bring in your book. I'll let you turn it in tomorrow if you want, but you can keep it till Wednesday, your exam day, if you want as well. Please, please, please ask any questions you have tomorrow. Today after school, Mr. Schmidt is having tutoring still.